Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Yanmar Summer Festival. My name is Jeff. I'm here alongside Mike to guide you through our Rocket League playoffs here for the festival.
Welcome, everybody. Glad you could join us for this semifinals beginning of our Rocket League tournament.
It's been an interesting road to get here. I mean, we had teams from 18 different countries all signing up to be a part of this awesome event, this coming together, this team building exercise that it spans the globe. Those 18 different countries, all those entries were broken down into 4 different regions. Top 2 from each region made it into the quarterfinals and a chance to play here over the weekend.
Yeah, and for a majority of the teams, it has been the top team from each region that has been making it so far. We've got 2 teams from Japan, however, 1 team from America and 1 team from Europe.
Yeah, and we know a lot of y'all might not be familiar with Rocket League out there, so we'll just give a brief overview of what you can look forward to here through our weekend of matches. Rocket League is a 3v3 set similar to traditional soccer, where you've got a ball in the middle, a goal on each side, and the team who scores the most points wins. Pretty simple, Mike. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple, except for when you throw in the cars can fly. So that always spices things up. We'll see what these teams can do with all the crazy stuff you can do in Rocket League.
Well, and there's no netminder in Rocket League either. So you got to be really careful with how you position and protecting your zone. So if you can imagine 3-on-3 soccer, but you've got nobody back there to protect your net, you've got to be really cautious about letting the opposition get behind your defenses, because that's when you create really good scoring opportunities. Now, Rocket League there are 5-minute matches, and we will go through a best of 5 here today. So first team to win 3 of these 5-minute matches will move on and play in our grand finals tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming at all of you. And yeah, looking forward to some exciting matches.
I mean, there's definitely some caveats. There's definitely some things that you got to keep in mind. One of which, Mike, is what happens if the 2 teams are tied after the end of that 5-minute period?
Well, if that's the case, we head into overtime, and the clock just keeps running until somebody scores a goal. Well, at the 5-minute mark, the game pauses. We get ourselves another kickoff, but you just keep going until somebody scores, and that's where the real excitement begins, because every single moment in overtime is so important. One little slip up, one wrong bounce can change the whole tide of the series.
Yeah, that's definitely a bated breath. You feel like everybody kind of amps up a notch if we get into an overtime situation. Always fun to watch. Well, with that said, let's take a look at our schedule and figure out what we've got in store for you over the next couple of days. We already had our quarterfinals matches, so we have 4 teams remaining. We're going to have those 2 of those 4, well, facing off in our semifinals today. Winner of each of these 2 matches will move on, play in our grand finals tomorrow. And then the losers of these 2 matches will fight it out for 3rd place. And I mean, there's a little bit of Rocket League cash on the line here for our 4 teams.
Indeed. We have $300 in Rocket League credits, as it's called, going towards 1st place, and then it trickles down from there. 2nd getting 150 and 3rd place getting 75. And there's all sorts of beautiful customizations that you can get in this game to deck out your cars. So that's definitely a very exciting prize pool to be going for.
And just one thing to note, our games are switched. The first game we're going to be seeing is going to be Los Betas taking on Yanmar Mix Japan. Los Betas hailing from Turkey. A really, really good team. Very talented squad. Yanmar Mix Japan plays 2nd in the Japanese region. And then following that, we'll have ProNoobs, team from the United States, taking on Yes Tokyo, your number 1 qualifying team coming out of Japan. With that said, as we've kind of gotten to introduce ourselves to our 4 teams, let's take a look at our bracket and figure out how our teams got here today. There we go. As you can see, our 4 squads coming through from winning their quarterfinals rounds respectively. An exciting prospect to be sure, and gotten them a chance, an opportunity to be on stream and play it for you here today, folks.
Yeah, Los Betas coming from a win against the underdogs, and then YMJ, or Yanmar Mix Japan, beating out the team 7, suitably named being the 7th team.
Well, yeah, that was just for identification purposes. That was not a seeding or a ranking or anything of that like. So don't let those numbers throw you off at all. But it was the closest matchup, that one. YMJ versus 7 was a really, really close quarterfinals match. There was a 2-minute long overtime, one of those exciting overtimes we were talking about. YMJ finally scoring at the end of that one to close it out. But then they took that momentum, were able to ride through the rest of this series, and here we are seeing them in the semifinals.
Indeed, we are very much looking forward to this match. Los Betas looking like a very strong team coming into this, having a quite dominant win over the underdogs. I believe that was a sweep in that match. So YMJ have their work cut out for them, but it's still going to be a tight match nonetheless, I believe.
Yeah, I think if we had to kind of give a favorite team out of the 4 to win this grand finals, or to move on and win grand finals, it would be the Turkish team of Los Betas. They just look very coordinated. Everybody on that team very good at Rocket League. So I'm excited to finally see them in action. Here we go. Let's get into game number 1. Los Betas in the blue, YMJ in the orange. And kickoff has begun. Imperial Lin already on the attack. Look at this aggressive start.
Indeed, going off the backboard right off the start there for Los Betas. YMJ on the other side of things now going for a shot. They do get the first goal, the second goal of the game. Coming in a little late there. We've already got 2 on the board for YMJ.
That was 2 happened so fast. It was just all in one. There you go. Little Neko coming out with that one there. 25 seconds in, and already our thoughts on how this might go have been blown out of the water.
Indeed. We we could be ending up with a very high-scoring game here. We shall see how it goes.
And just from judging by the names, I do think we do have, YMJ is in the blue, if I'm not mistaken, because Imperial Lin plays for YMJ, according to my notes. We'll get that verified and back to you. So our names up top might be flipped around. I believe Los Betas are the ones in the orange. So all is right with the world, at least all is right with our predictions. And it is Los Betas who are up 2-0. Here's we cross the 1st minute mark in game 1.
Alrighty, and we shall see how these teams end up positioning here. Now that a couple goals are on the board, and we're a couple minutes, or a little over a minute in, figuring out how teams learn how to play against each other here. We talked about how the field is pretty open, this being 3-on-3, which means figuring out your positioning both with your teammates and against your opponents can be crucial.
Well, and unlike traditional football, you can't turn on a dime or stop and change your positioning in a side-to-side manner. There's really no strafing in a car, right? So your trajectory, like how you approach, oh, Little Nako going to interrupt me with a nice little flick. I thought that was going to go off the top backboard, but just that right amount of touch, that finesse, Little Nako is able to put up the third goal.
Indeed, the Las Betas team going up 3 now, and yeah, you talked about how you can't just stop on a dime like traditional soccer. Is incredibly important in this game. And speaking of momentum, more from a mental aspect, 4 goals up now for Las Betas, only 2 minutes into this 5-minute match.
In just like any athletic competition, the mental fortitude is such an important part of Rocket League. Once you have that confidence, once you know you can score like this, 4 goals in 2 minutes, that's outrageous from Los Betas. They now know that they have the ability to come in and take over this game. And you can see it reflected here in the play. Oh, that's a nice shot. The little touch goes underneath Pio Kinrin. And the ball is in blue territory. YMJ are gonna have to work really hard to try to clear this zone, see if they can get a goal of their own. But man, the attack from Los Betas has been outrageous. Little Nako's gonna keep it in right in front of the net, trying to hold right on that near post side. You can see the defense of YMJ is gonna push it out into the corner, try to create a little space for this defense to breathe. Babalik is gonna move in and see if they can work it past that defensive side, gets it over everybody. Babalik scores goal number 5.
That was a fantastic job of just keeping pressure on the ball there. Bomb landing on the wall perfectly after his first touch to make sure he had position to take another one, and caught the YMG defense by surprise there.
That was an incredible individual effort. Just that right amount of acceleration to get the lob in. The finesse from Los Betos is absolutely something awesome. Babala coming in for another one. Nice save. Imperial Lin reads that one beautifully. You see he has to come all the way to the back of the net to charge up and make that goal. So you gotta make these decisions before you see it unfold before you. Oh, and they're not quick enough to make that decision. Babalik scores another one.
Yep, every moment in Rocket League is crucial. Unlike some of your other sports-related video games, for example, like the EA games and whatnot, there's no, like, hit a button to do something in this game. You have to control every single movement your car does, every little bit of rotation, and that's what makes Rocket League such a technically complicated game, is every decision is your own. Every inch matters when it comes to your shooting accuracy, your positioning, and whether or not you're scoring or saving a shot.
They have to be pixel perfect, as we like to call it in the world of esports. That shot, not so much, as Bombalik put one off the side, but Little Nako comes in. And you might realize that we have just spent the entirety of this 3.5 minutes in blue territory. YMJ's defense are struggling to thwart this aggressive onslaught coming out of Los Betas.
Yeah, just all the touches are where they need to be. They're following up that ball immediately, keeping possession. And whenever they're entering the blue zone, they always keep the ball close to themselves so that they can get another touch past the defense. But we might see ourselves with a YMJ opportunity here. But as I say it, the ball gets transitioned out and we find a breakaway for Vendas.
And that's one of those situations where you have to weigh the risk versus the reward. And YMJ wanted to get aggressive. They knew that they had an opportunity, but they commit so much to try to turn that opportunity into a scoring chance that they leave their defense wide open. And Los Betas are able to take advantage of that and put up yet another goal. The Turkish team with a commanding lead as we approach the final minute here in Game 1.
Indeed. Normally in Rocket League we say it's not over till it's over, but we're about to hit double digits from Las Betas, and Technically, it is possible to score 10 goals in 60 seconds. However, it is looking quite unlikely with the amount of pressure Las Vegas is putting on YMJ here.
That would be a turnaround of miraculous proportions. I can't say I've ever seen one quite come back from this amount of a deficit. 2 or 3 goals in a minute, that's difficult enough, but something like this is just an unattainable feat here for YMJ. Their best hope is to try to hang on, perhaps get 1 goal in. If YMJ can get 1 goal and break that seal, then they can have a little bit more confidence going into game 2. But first, you have to stop Los Betas on this attack, and they're not relenting at all. They keep the onslaught going. They keep the shots poured onto the net and keep YMJ on the back foot, back the middle line. Vindas is going to keep it in the blue zone. Nice challenge there, puts the ball up in the air and at least forces Las Vegas to try to work around the pitch to create an opening from this defense. YMJ's looking a bit better here in this final minute. They might be able to get that goal, and they do. They get rid of the goose egg, Mike. They get rid of the goose egg.
Oh, that's got to be so good for the mentality of the players. It was a very good opportunistic goal from Imperial Lin there, just punting that down the entire length of the field and finding no one in net for Las Vegas. But just, they've got one. They've proved they can do it.
Oh, and it's hard to describe just how important that 1 goal really is. Given the strength of Los Betas, I would still put my money on the Turkish squad. You can just see how talented they are at this game. I mean, that's the goals very evenly distributed. 4, 3, and 2 respectively. That just means everybody's getting involved. It's not one person who's absolutely exceptional at the game and so much better than everybody else in the lobby. It really is a team effort coming out of Los Betas.
It really is. And Rocket League is a game that you can't just have one player carry you, because everyone's moving around the field. Everyone's a part of the team. And sometimes that won't reflect on the scoreboard. Sometimes your role, as we saw from one of the YMJ players, is defensive specifically. We saw one of their players was a more dedicated defensive player there from YMJ. But yeah, it's a whole team effort here, and Las Vegas has gotten themselves one step closer to getting the 3 wins required for a series.
And that's a pretty common formation in Rocket League. You tend to play a 2-1 setup where you have 2 players up front kind of parallel with each other that'll work the ball across the pitch and try to create space for the offense to develop, with 1 player typically sitting back. Now, those 3 players may rotate like in a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion so that you can constantly have pressure being put in and constantly have somebody back to defend. And what we could just call simply rotations in Rocket League. And those rotations can be very important as to how you protect your line and keeping that positioning, that incredibly important positioning intact as the chaos tends to unfold. It's how you can manage that chaos that really makes you stand out and can, is driving all these teams to be in our top 4 here as far as the best teams from Yanmar across the globe.
Indeed, that communication and that rotation is often talked about at the top levels of Rocket League. One reason why it's so important is for those unfamiliar with the game, across the field are little boost pads that give you a boost meter that you can use to fly, drive faster, and that is really crucial to the game. So you'll often see players, after they've gone for the ball, run out of boost, switch to the back line to go collect some more, whereas the player in the back who was collecting it is now ready at the front of the field.
Yeah, just like with any athletic sport, speed is going to win Rocket League matches. And those glowing pieces of yellow discs or spheres around the pitch are what provides your speed in Rocket League. And you can really start putting on pressure and mount that pressure and roll that momentum if you're the one that always has the speed and your opponent never gets any of it. It's resource starving is what we like to call it. If they don't get those resources, they just simply can't keep up.
Indeed, yeah. It's occasionally referenced to as boost starving. I'm not sure if we'll be seeing that in these matches here, but it is something to watch out for. If the players aren't being cognizant of their boost usage, then you can end up out of the play. And if the players are flying high above you, like Las Vegas has been trying to do there, you need boost to be able to defend that. Yeah, so we'll see how that becomes a factor in this game here as we move on to game number 2.
Another important aspect of the boost is you can get physical with it. And I think that's something we might want to see from YMJ. That might help them out, where you start bumping the opponent, really throw them off their game, kind of like might see in hockey, where that physicality can disrupt the momentum. But no, Los Betas will go in unscathed here in the opening seconds in another early lead.
Picking stuff right up from where they left off. Little Nako going around the corner there and dropping it right onto Bomb's nose. Perfectly for him to put the ball into an open net there.
And if you hit somebody fast enough, you can even destroy the car. And then it forces them to spawn all the way back by their own net, kind of in their own corner. And you can remove them from the play, give your team a temporary advantage. Oh, YMJ trying to play so defensively, but Vindas is able to come in with that shot. You'll see somebody in net just waiting. Kron Fighter hoping they can get the jump on it, but just not fast enough. Vindas puts that ball high and away from reach, and that's 2-0 to Los Betas.
And there's the difference of that speed that we were talking about earlier. Having the pace on the ball, beating your opponents to the play is makes all the difference. But here we've got YMJ with a goal.
Imperial Lynn. And it didn't take nearly as long this time, going over Chrono Fighter. I mispronounced that last time. I'm probably still mispronouncing it. I'm not very good at Japanese pronunciation, so please forgive me if I'm not saying that correctly. But Imperial Lynn going over a teammate and able to get that one in, and this is a good sign for YMJ. It's some of that momentum that they found at the end of game 1. Oh, but they commit too hard on the attack. And Bob Ballot comes back and answers right back, 3-1 to Los Betas.
Los Betas not giving YMJ any space to breathe. They saw YMJ trying to get back a little bit of momentum, and they said no.
Little stall out there off the kickoff. Nobody getting an advantage, but it's Los Betas immediately driving into the blue territory. YMJ, oh, what a pass, what a setup. The goalie was looking for a shot in the middle, and then Bombolic comes in over the top to just slam this home. Look at that 1-2 coming out of Los Betas. That was textbook Rocket League.
Lil Nako coming in, spinning out of the corner there, displaying some technical prowess in the game. And speaking of which, we might see a fancy play here from Bomb, but just saved by Imperial Lynn.
That was a good save, but unfortunately the rebound goes right to Vindas, and they're able to do something with that. Bombolic got past too, and look how the defenders were all spread out from Bombolic's great fancy footwork, made for an easy follow-up goal for Vindas.
The Los Betas have themselves up 5-1, 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. YMJ might be able to start trying to mount a comeback here, potentially. They showed that they can get themselves some regular goals at the start of this game here. They've just got to mount more of those together and lock down their defensive line as the Turkish team sends one right off their crossbar.
Chrono Fighter getting behind the defense, able to sneak it away after that miss from Los Betas. Bombolic steals it though, now trying to drive back into orange territory with a little help from Lil Nako. They're going to make it in. Nice pass to Bombolic. There's our first demo of the series as Vindas just tramples through the competition. Imperial Lynn returns the favor and sends Vindas back to the scrapyard. And the ball bouncing innocuously through midfield at the moment. Good hit, going towards the net. It's going to go wide.
Yeah, and those demos that we saw there where the cars exploded have a massive effect on the game, not just with taking your opponents out of the field, but for one, it can mess with the rotations they were talking about earlier. When one man suddenly disappears from the field, your positioning is all thrown off. Oh, a close opportunity from YMJ there, but another effect of demos is it's really annoying to get blown up, and so you can sometimes throw the mental state of the opposing players off by just blowing them up whatever opportunity you get.
Well, if you look at your lower right-hand corner, that's the amount of boost you have as well. Vindus was able to go to a max 100 after picking up that big sphere in the corner. When you get demoed, you lose all of that. It resets back to your starting position. So it can definitely affect the outcome of the game. Oh, no, an unfortunate turn for the defense of YMJ. They were looking to clear that out off the far post, and the ball just takes a funky bounce backwards off of their own car to increase the lead to 5 for Los Betas.
Oh, nothing Imperial Lin could even do about that. He was driving along the wall, and then as he came to the net, his tires just came off the wall as he was driving to the net, and he just fell into that ball. There was nothing he could do about it. Landed right underneath it for it to go into his own net.
Oh, that was such an unfortunate bounce off the post. It kind of came out backwards and at an angle. Just everything going in Los Betas' favor right now. Vindus trying to put one on net. Imperial Lin just gets enough of it. Ball's still a dangerous spot. A little pass off the bounce board. And, well, it's Los Betas still able to keep up the zone. Another pass off that backboard. This one will get cleared all the way down, and YMJ can breathe a sigh of relief for the moment.
Yeah, YMJ finally get it out of their zone. Los Betas just putting on every ounce of pressure they can, but now Imperial Lin trying to get a center. It's just getting scrappy in the corner there. And it looks like Los Betas are headed out of the zone again.
Yeah, Bamalak able to get over 2 players out of YMJ. Place it all the way down the pitch. But here comes YMJ! They're going to put another one up. Imperial Lin comes up with another goal, their second of this game. And keeping things fun and keeping hope alive here for YMJ in the final minute of game 2.
Yeah, little Neko considered going after that ball, but with 2 YMJ players, either of which could have taken the shot, he decided to play a little passive. And Imperial Lin saw that moment and took advantage of it, playing the fast game and surprising the defense.
Pass to little Neko. They're going to take the ball all the way to the corner and grab that big boost of speed along the way, stealing that away from the defense. Imperial Lin's coming away with it, though. Oh, they missed the speed of their own right, and they're not able to chase down their own ball. Here comes the rest of YMJ. You can see all of them pushing up past the midfield. They really want to get aggressive. They want one more goal before this timer runs down. Vindus is going to deny them so far. Lil Neko trying to get it out of the half. Nice play for Piro Kinrin, and able to keep that one in, but only temporarily. Now shots start to come through. Los Betos put it off the top backboard. Looking for a pass to a teammate. There it is. Bombalak puts one on. Imperial Lin will deny that goal, but cannot deny the victory. Los Betos will move up to 2-0 in the series, now on match point to move into the grand finals.
Los Betos have full control of this series. YMJ need to bring something monumental together if they're going to bring back this series. Yeah, I mean, you can see even with the massive ping advantage there, you can see on the right side of the scoreboard the connection these players have to the servers. That still went in favor of Los Betas there. So some dominant performance there.
Oh, Imperial Lin trying their hardest to keep Yanmar Mixed Japan in this series. 2 goals, 4 saves on 4 shots. Oh, it's a valiant effort, a valiant attempt from Imperial Lin. Try to take on just this thunderous squad of Los Betas, but everybody from Los Betas get involved. Bombalak coming up with another set of 4 goals there in game number 2, totaling 8 already in just 2 games. Just outstanding stuff. Los Betas look unstoppable.
Indeed, and it is worthy to note YMJ is the last remaining team of the players who signed up individually and got thrown together. And the fact that they've been able to make it this far into the tournament is massive. We might be seeing Los Betas sort of putting on a dominant performance here, but just the fact that YMJ was able to make it to the semifinals, which with a bunch of players who had never played together before, aren't even part of the same subsect of Yanmar, is incredible.
It is impressive because a lot of these teams have played together before, you know, have practiced together and developed some synergy. That synergy can be so important, knowing how your teammates operate, and you know, just as any other team competition, that synergy builds into teamwork, in which gives you winning results. So an impressive feat indeed for Yanmar Mix Japan to be here in top 4 and competing in the semifinals for you today. Right out of the gate, Los Betas getting aggressive. A bouncing shot. Corona Fighter able to get a piece of it and send it away. Piro Kinrin chasing that one into the corner. Bombalek able to meet them there and keep the ball in the blue half. The wicked shot from Lil Nico is going to break the scoring open in game number 3.
I don't know whether it was intentional or not, but Los Betas had a nice little fake there. I believe it was Ventus who went up for the ball at first, went flying past it, may have confused the defenseman for Lil Nico to take a ground shot there and open up scoring.
Sometimes you take the happy accidents, Mike. You know, sometimes you just take those. It just works out that way. And everything's certainly been going in Los Betas' favor so far today.
Oh yeah, tactical fakes is what we like to call them.
They missed the empty net! Oh, Bumbleback's gonna follow it up though. 2-0 to Los Betas. Oh my.
Speaking of happy accidents, that crossbar shot may have been heartbreaking in the moment, but at least it came out to Bombalak right afterwards.
Yeah, I think Bobolek was kicking themselves there for a moment, going, no, we don't miss these. We needed some redemption.
Indeed, another shot there just off the post for Los Betas. YMJ tried to get out of their zone, but whiff on the clear will bring things open for Los Betas again. No goal on that one though.
Corona Fighter looking to take it out, gets past the first defender at the midfield line and puts the ball back deep into orange territory. Neko with a nice move, get past one, but can't get past Imperial Lin. With the rotation there, you see more people from Los Betas rotated around into that corner to find the clear, but still, YMJ were doing a good job of keeping it in that zone for the longest, but Little Neko finally breaks through to the other side, right in front of the net. A lot of contact, but none of it with the ball as it bounces away. 2 players from YMJ come through, but here comes Bombalak, the star scorer for Los Betas, with the pass back to Little Neko. Little Neko's shot is off the mark, but the rebound is good. Los Betas up 3-0 in game 3.
Yeah, and we can see here the value of putting the ball sometimes off the backboard or off the post or something like that. It might seem like a wasted shot if it's not on target, but if you can bounce it off the backboard out to one of your teammates, that can sometimes draw out the defenders into a situation where they're out of position trying to save a shot that was never supposed to be on net. And you can get a follow-up goal off of it. Speaking of follow-up goals, Ventus with another one.
And increasing that lead to 4. This is just an incredible individual effort. Corona Fighter tried desperately to catch up, but Ventus was just too quick.
Indeed, and Los Betas bring us up 4-0 in this match point. They just need to hold on to this lead, and they will be moving on to the finals happening tomorrow morning. Or morning, depending on where you're from.
Tomorrow at some point.
Indeed, that would be at 21 hours GMT if I am not mistaken. So feel free to come back tomorrow to watch those, but we'll give you more details on that one later on. For now, we have a YMJ player getting a goal. Let's go.
Corona Fighter putting up their first goal of the tournament. And this one's a beaut. A nice little redirect jumping up in the air and then finding that angle to put it in that top left-hand side. That is so not easy to do. Every micro movement of your car when you make contact will affect the direction. The physics of the ball bounce off the car is pretty darn realistic as far as at least the angles are concerned. And that one was a perfect angle for Corona Fighter. And YMJ, they have not been shut out in any of these games. They've at least managed to put up goals in all 3 of these games.
Oh yeah, keeping things respectable despite the high score lines. And they've got themselves a little bit of pressure here, but it will get cleared out of their zone, or out of the zone into YMJ's area. And all 3 players sitting and waiting from Los Betas, waiting for that shot to become available to them.
Yeah, Little Neko able to just sneak the ball behind enemy lines. And there just 2 players from Los Betas sitting in front of an empty net. That was their most well set up goal yet. The one that made look the easiest. They make it look a lot easier than it actually is, Mike.
Yeah, the amount of setup that was required to get themselves to that point was what made it a challenge. The YMJ players committed to an offensive play like they have here with a fake. Oh my goodness.
Oh, PO sees an opportunity, just a little soft touch. Whoop, whoop, tried to fake out Nako. Nako doesn't make the move until it is far too late. Anticipating there was going to be a follow-up shot, and PO just lets it slide on in there. That's 2 for YMJ.
Oh, you love to see the fakes there, the mind games from the YMJ players. The fakes might not be the flashiest, but man, are they satisfying when you get someone to dip when they should have dodged.
And speaking of this bouncing ball, very tough on the defense. It was a slight redirect from Vinocus there that is able to open that up. Excuse me, that was Vindus. Able to open that one up. Just put a little bit of a touch on it. The ball bounced back the other direction, and they had the YMJ defense jumping the wrong way. Oh, and a follow-up. That one bounces off of Imperial Lin. Imperial Lin trying to come across and make the save. Watch the top right-hand side of your screen. Imperial Lin screams across and makes contact, but can't get enough of the ball.
Yeah, and you can see there how critical kickoffs are in this game. The physics of Rocket League means the ball doesn't squish when 2 players hit it at the same time, and the ball's got to go somewhere, and often it goes there very, very quickly, and in what is referred to as a pinch. And in that case, the ball pinched out to the side and directly over to the Las Vegas players, who took advantage of it before YMJ had even situated themselves off the kickoff.
And not only are those pinches, a very fast ball to deal with, but a very unpredictable ball as well. Sometimes can bounce out at very funny and unusual angles and catch people off guard. Imperial Lin fighting hard here in the final 30 seconds of game number 3. Pretty much an insurmountable lead here for Los Betos, but nevertheless, Yanmar Mixed Japan are going to give it their all until the final second ticks away. Will Nako drive it down, gets denied. A little battle for the ball up in the air, and it falls right back in the middle. Vindus comes in to touch it into the corner as Corona Fighter finds that loose ball and sticks it back down in the orange halves. 5 seconds on the clock. YMJ want one more before they are sent home. They cannot quite make it happen. Los Betos will win 3 in a row, and they will move on to our grand finals taking place tomorrow.
A dominant sweep there from Las Vegas, and I am looking forward to seeing what they can do in the finals. Well done to Yanmar Mixed Japan, coming in a bunch of guys from different parts of the company who never met each other before, did fantastically well considering the circumstances, but it will be Las Vegas moving on to the finals.
Yeah, and Corona Fighter really showed up there in that last game. Game 3 coming through, had a goal and a couple of saves, but I think your player of the day, definitely Bombalak here from Los Betas, ends up with a total of 10 goals in 3 games. That's spectacular. That is outrageous numbers and just a force to be reckoned with out there on the pitch.
Yeah, we saw some excellent plays from every member of that team. Little Nako with a fantastic passing play, consistently going around the corner of the opponent's backboard, up along the side, round the corner, dropping it right on usually Bombalak's nose for a easy goal for Bombalak because of the strong communication between the players.
Oh, I love this. This is just so much fun, and it's props to Yaman for putting this kind of an event on, where you can really bring people together from all across the world, really bring people from your company all together, and something as simple as Rocket League. It's the perfect way. It doesn't matter what language you speak, where you are in the world, you can enjoy good Rocket League, and then you realize that there's fellow gamer enthusiasts across the globe as well. Fantastic stuff here in your Yaman Summer Festival. And that's just game number 1. We still have one more game coming at you here today. And then we will have 2 more matches for you tomorrow. We're going to take a quick little intermission, get set up for our next match. But when we return, we have got ProNoobs from the United States taking on Yes Tokyo, your number 1 team from Japan. We'll see you back here in a little bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Yanmar Summer Festival Rocket League Tournament. My name's Jeff, back here with Mike to guide you through our second match. We've got ProNoobs coming in from the United States, taking on your number one seed from Japan, yes, Tokyo. And, well, when we got a team from the States playing against a team from Japan, man, that just creates its own set of complications.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, internet connection is a factor in esports, especially when you're playing in an international tournament. And optimally, you'd be in person for this kind of thing, but that's just not available to us in this situation. So we've picked a server point that is as in between the teams as possible, but that's a little complicated when there's a whole ocean in between you.
Yeah, everybody from ProNoobs are kind of playing from the East Coast of the United States. So we've chosen a server that is on the West Coast of the U.S. to try to find a middle ground between our two squads. But you're still going to have a delay between what is actually happening in game and what our players see happening. And it can create definitely some complications. But, you know, our players are just, we're here having a good time. They're going to make the best of it. And hopefully we get a good game out of this one.
Yeah, Rocket League is a game that every pixel counts, and so a little bit of ping can throw you off, but hopefully these players won't have that affect them too heavily. And everyone's here to have a good time with this Yanmar Summer Festival. There is a prize pool on the line, but at the end of the day, we're just here to have a good time, and I'm sure these players will enjoy it regardless of what internet connection problems we may have.
Well, with that said, let's go back and take a look at our bracket. Let's see how these two teams got to where they are, how they made their way into the semifinals. ProNoobs, your number one team from North America, South America region. They went up against Rocket Rider. They actually played 2v2 in a wonderful show of sportsmanship. Rocket Rider were not able to field all three players. So ProNoobs said, hey, that's fine. We'll just play a 2v2 Rocket League. And it was a close match. They went down early, but were able to bring it back and take the victory.
And in that series, there was 2 overtimes. They lost game 1, and then game 2 and 3 both went to extra time. That would have been an electric match to watch, and you can go back and watch the quarterfinals replay to check that one out. I'm sure it was fantastic.
And then on right beneath them, see, yes, Tokyo. That was your number one team in Japan, taking on TGN Thai team from the Asian region. And that one was a lot more one-sided. Yes, Tokyo were able to completely shut out TGN Thai team for the first 2 matches, and then had a dominant game number 3 to win that series 3-0. They're coming in with a lot of wind in their sails.
Oh yeah, they have yet to drop a match this entire tournament, and they only took 2 goals against in their quarterfinal match for their entire best of 5 that they kept to just a sweep. So we've got 2 ace teams coming in here, and it's going to be very exciting to see how they match up and how the different play styles clash.
Yeah, 2 undefeated teams coming into this. Well, I mean, one of them's going to no longer be able to claim that here after this next best of 5 matchup. Again, we have each individual game 5 minutes long. First team to win 3 of those will move on to face Los Betas in the grand finals that'll be taking place tomorrow, and fighting for their chance of that Rocket League currency. Can upgrade their cars, get some cool in-game cosmetics, stuff to just add some flair and some personality to your player and to your car.
Oh yeah, Rocket League's customization is top notch, and it's always fun to bling out your car. And you had mentioned Los Betas there, the team that we just saw previously win against YMJ, and that was a pretty dominant performance. So whoever wins this match is going to have their work cut out for them to play against that Turkish squad.
So true, Mike. But hey, first things first, they got to get through this semifinals match and see if they can earn the right to take on the Turkish teams currently waiting for them in that grand finals.
Indeed. And we'll have that match coming up fairly shortly for you here. We're just getting the lobby set up as we speak. But some of the highlight players here from these teams, we got to see some of the highlights from the weeks prior to the quarterfinals and the matches we have coming up here. A Creepy Boy from ProNoobs definitely lit up that highlight reel, as well as HMD from Yes Tokyo.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of at least from the information we have, our star player from each side. So, watching these two go head to head certainly should be fun. Typically that's, the forward position for, we don't really have set positions in Rocket League because of the way that the players tend to rotate around, so that somebody who has those precious speed resources that we've been talking about is always in the action. But typically it's what would be your forwards, are the ones who get all the recognition, just like in traditional football. And so that's what we're expecting here from Creepy Boy, as well as HMD from Yes Tokyo, Creepy Boy there from ProNoobs, who are starting us off in the orange. And already it's ProNoobs who are going on the offensive first. Nice move from HMD right there. You see from Yes Tokyo, got past one, but a big battle for possession. Nice shot. Creepy's going to follow on their own pass to score our first goal of this second series.
Yep, that ball was going back and forth hard right at the beginning of the game. Both teams with opportunities, but Creepy will be the first one to find himself an empty net, putting that one off the backboard and finishing it off.
And this is another thing with esports, is sometimes they don't show the gamer tags the same in every game. Sometimes people want to change their name or spice it up a little bit. So not going by Creepy Boy here today. It says it's Creepy Zeus. But we'll bet dollars to donuts this is the same player here, particularly after these first goals that we've seen.
Yep. Immediately lighting stuff up. Creepy Zeus bring his team up 2 with only 46 seconds down, and we'll see how Yes Tokyo is able to respond to this sudden pressure, and that right there was an unfortunate one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a kickoff goal here from ProNoobs. And it's just generation. Oh, was trying to stick it down pitch. HMD turns to deflect it and just can't get enough of the ball. Ends up going right into their own net after HMD was trying to send it wide. Yeah, you take those if you're ProNoobs. Sometimes it's just the way the ball bounces here in Rocket League. ProNoobs with a 3-0 lead. And there's Creepy Zeus able to push this one into the corner as Yes Tokyo looking to see if they can bounce back, answer back, but a nice move from Generation. Had that little flick, gets the ball all the way in front of the net, right for Creepy Zeus to score another goal.
Just a textbook dribbling play here from Creepy Zeus, picking it up off of Generation's car and getting a beautiful flick there That being when you front flip into that ball to give it a little bit of lift, you can get some exciting power from that sort of a play. He was able to follow it up with another touch to finish it off.
Into ProNoobs' side of the pitch right now, as we'll call that bars. Why not? Bars screaming down the pitch, trying to catch back up to it after a big clear here from the defense of ProNoobs. HMD dribbling through the air. Oh, that is so difficult to do. It looked fancy, and it bought a little bit of space, but here comes ProNoobs back on the attack. They grab the ball, sent wide by Bars. A good defensive play to come in from behind and disrupt that attack from ProNoobs. HMD trying to dribble it past midfield, but gets stopped. And ProNoobs keep it in the blue half. Good move from Creepy Zeus. Forces it into the corner. Pepe in a race right now against ProNoobs to try to wrangle control of this ball. HMD is just going to punch it down the pitch and open up some space here for Yes Tokyo to get some work done.
HMD had a demo there, almost opened things up for his team. A pinch along the wall, sending that ball in front of the net. But now on the other side of things, Creepy Zeus gonna put a little finesse on that one just to put the nail in the coffin on that goal there specifically. But that'll bring his team up, ProNoobs, to 5 goals.
An unfortunate miss from HMD. HMD tried to get up into the air to stop that attack. It just can't quite find the connection. It's a nice move from Creepy Zeus to juggle that through the air all the way down. Again, a very technical move here in Rocket League. It's not automatic. The ball doesn't just automatically Velcro itself to the front of that car the way Creepy Zeus made it look. That is just little touches on the controller, or perhaps like a keyboard and mouse. I'm not exactly sure what platform these players are on. Typically a controller in Rocket League. Oh, but it's such just little touches to make that technical stuff happen. And there, speaking of little touches, it's one out of the air for Generation to find their second on the day.
Yep, Rocket League is all about the micro adjustments, making sure you've got your car in exactly the right position with the exact right amount of power. And Generation kept the power under control on that shot. He just needed to put a little bit of power on it just to make sure it would bounce its way into the net, but not over the crossbar. And he did so in that one.
Mike, I would absolutely hit that one way too hard and then bounce it off the crossbar. That is a mistake I would most certainly make.
Oh, 100% me as well. These players are on the top of their game, not missing up any opportunities. Speaking of which, AMD, some fancy plays coming out from these teams here, showing off their mechanical skills.
And yes, Tokyo may be down big time in the score line, but they've definitely got some flair. They've got some style here, and they're putting one up now. Oh, they can't quite find contact on the shot. It was a wonderful pass across to the center, and they just cannot follow up on it. Now here comes ProNoobs back the other way. Ball screams across the net, a little too fast for Generation to find the shot on that. And yes, Tokyo will get the clear, but only temporarily, as Creepy Zeus is going to punt it all the way back down towards the blue net. Bars forces it out of the box right in front of that net into the corner where it's a little bit safer, but Red Plate's ready for it. Red Plate put that one up high, back into the corner it goes. HMD trying to scramble, get it down the pitch, forces it into the opposite side. Look for an opportunity here for Yes Tokyo to get their first goal on the board.
HMD going all over the field, crossing everywhere he needs to be, picking up boost along the way. And he almost created a scoring opportunity for his team there. And there he is again. He is just all over the pitch for his team.
Nice move from Generation, staying high up on the wall. Oh, Red Plate. It was a race to it. Red Plate loses that race, but still all this pressure from ProNoobs means that Yes Tokyo don't even get an opportunity to take shots. Pepe trying to create that opportunity there, but Creepy Zeus is solid on the defense. Does not let that one unfold in front of the net. Doing a good job of keeping that ball out of the danger zone.
Yeah, ProNoobs definitely had the dominant
Nice
pressure,
pass.
particularly early in the game. Creepy almost getting a goal there. But Yes Tokyo has definitely closed up the, not the gap necessarily scoring wise, but their consistency felt a lot better partway through the game, perhaps getting more accustomed to the latency that they're feeling at the low hundreds of ping. But they definitely seem to pick up their stride partway through the game there.
I'd have to agree. I don't expect this one to go a 3-0 like our last one did. Yes, Tokyo definitely showing us, some good stuff. There's some good passes in there, some good ball control, and understanding how they want to play their defense. They always had somebody in the right spot, but ProNoobs, they're able to dance around and get past that defense on, 6 occasions to make the scoreline quite one-sided here in game number 1.
Indeed, they had fast pressure, always keeping someone on the ball at all times, not letting Tokyo get any sort of positional setup or coordinated passing play, anything like that. Tokyo always had a player from ProNoobs on them. And where the momentum of the game really switched up there was, I think, when, yes, Tokyo started doing the same thing to ProNoobs, not letting them set up and just sending someone at the ball at all times.
Aggression is the name of the game. True in Rocket League as it is in any other competition. The one who is the most aggressive typically creates the most opportunities to get scoring chances, to keep pressure on the other team, and then you control the pace. Then you dictate the style of play. And that was certainly ProNoobs in this instance in game 1. But hey, there's still plenty of games left to go.
Mm-hmm. And Rocket League is a game with a bouncy ball and plenty of walls. So sometimes just throwing yourself at the ball might end up with it bouncing into your opponent's net. Might bounce into your net, but that's a risk you have to take sometimes.
Hey, the great Wayne Gretzky said, you miss all the shots you don't take. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. True in Rocket League as it's true in life, and I guess ice hockey as well. I guess we can throw that in there.
Yeah, it's always applicable. You got to take your chances, take your opportunities. And it's in Rocket League particularly, it's a 3v3 game, but it's a big field. Sometimes a player will be slightly out of position. Maybe they missed a boost pad and had to turn around for it or something. And that leaves a gap. We see all the time in Rocket League, game deciding goals come from a player gets the ball and goes, oh, hey, nobody's in net for the other team. Send it down that way. And it rolls its way into the net.
You can't always wait for the perfect opportunity, right? Sometimes that'll just keep you waiting forever, and you get locked in indecision, or waiting for that perfect timing to develop. Sometimes you just got to take a shot, just punt it at the net, and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And also, there is some times where some extra finesse can make the difference. We saw both HMD and Creepy Zeus there going for some air dribble plays, that being when you're flying through the air, balancing the ball on your car, and it can be really hard to read as a defenseman. You don't know when they're going to come down, and it's a high skill play, but if you can throw the other team off, it can be worth it, and you can really create some offensive opportunities with that high risk, high reward.
And depending now, you can only jump once in the air. There is a technical skill called a flip reset. We won't get into that unless we see one. But for the most part, just assume that once you're in the air, you get one chance to hit your jump button. And what that does is it kind of acts as your kick, to where you can thrust the car into the ball with a quick burst of momentum or a quick burst of inertia, and create a shot. And so when you're air dribbling like you're talking about, you could hit that extra jump at any point in time to take the shot. And like you say, that makes it just incredibly difficult for a defender to figure out what exactly you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Predictability is always generally in the favor of the offensive player. They are the ones with the ball. They decide how it goes. And we are...
preset.
As we were talking about it. So, and opportunity almost coming out of it. HMD saved.
All right, so we did see one. I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. A flip reset. If all 4 of your tires touch the ball, you get an extra jump during your trip through the air. And so you can get 2 of those presses of the jump button, and it's very powerful. And we saw Creepy Zeus pull one off there. And now we're seeing Creepy Zeus score a goal. So here you go, 1-0 to ProNoobs early on, still in the first minute of game 2.
These teams are so fast-paced, they're not even giving us the chance to explain the mechanics of the game. Every time we tried to talk there was somebody shooting on net, and in this case, ProNoobs were the one to find the opening at the end of it.
By the way, flip resets are very, very difficult to pull off. I don't think I've ever pulled off a successful flip reset. So just to give you an idea, that is some high-level stuff coming out of Creepy Zeus.
Yep, some highlight reel-worthy plays. If he can get a goal out of that, that will be a career highlight kind of situation there. But he's looking to get the career highlight of making it to the finals here. They are already up 1 game in this best-of-5 series. If they manage to get this second game, they will be on match point.
Generation looking to double the lead, gets it over Pepe and all the way down from midfield. Generation, look at that steal right at the beginning, follows up on it with a perfect little curve, just reading the trajectory of that ball beautifully, and a nice shot to double down on this goal.
Yeah, and we were talking about in the break there that sometimes you just got to take the shot on net and hope there's an opening. And in that case, Generation found it. Just cut into the ball and popped it over the last man who had been a little bit ambitious, pulling up from his defensive position, and he finds himself a 2-goal lead.
HMD booting one down, has an opportunity, sends it wide. 2 players were flat-footed in the goal for ProNoobs. Nobody would have gotten up high enough to get to that ball, but alas, just misses the mark ever so slightly. Generation into the corner now, soft pass, good defense, doesn't let it go in front of the net, as Yes Tokyo able to find that ball and clear it out of the zone before it gets into a really scary spot. Over the midfield, you see all 3 players coming through. The demo favors Yes Tokyo, but ProNoobs gets the touch on the ball.
Well, a little bit of whiffs there on the defensive end for Yes Tokyo. Fortunately, nobody from ProNoobs was ready for it. HMD there, almost getting a pristine passing play, but it kind of came out of nowhere, so nobody from his team was prepared for it either.
And we see Generation get physical, using the body of the car to just rough up the attacking team. Don't allow that to develop. Creepy Zeus eventually comes through, able to get a nice stop, follow up. The ball doesn't even touch the grounds. Creepy Zeus gets goal number 3.
Yep, that bumping play can make all the difference. Just getting a little bit physical in there can throw off the other team. They expect their players to be in a certain position. These players have all played with each other before. They decided to work together for this tournament, and so you expect your teammates to be in a certain spot during any point in the play. And speaking of which, certain spot, that ball is in the net.
And it was off of a pass there. Bars is able to just bounce that one off the ceiling. 2 defenders. Red Plate got a touch on it, but can't keep it out of the goal. Oh, those are so hard to protect against. And we're seeing Yes Tokyo get rid of the goose egg for the first time today.
Yeah, that ball bouncing off the ceiling and coming down. That's a hard angle to save on any defensive position there.
Yeah, and apologies. That's the bars are for characters that don't show up for us. So there's probably Japanese characters there. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly what that name is. So we are sticking with the nickname bars for now. Apologies for not knowing your actual in-game name.
Creepy Zeus going for an air dribble play there, nearly finding the target, but HMD shutting him down. He knows how air dribbles work, and he knows how to stop them too.
Yeah, ProNoobs still on the attack. A nice bounce. This ball going right in front of the net. Oh, and it's stalled out in the corner. Pepe up against Red Plate. Pepe's going to win that one out. Blocks Red Plate. Shuts that door firmly in Red Plate's face. And yes, Tokyo are still alive. A nice move from Bars, using the wall beautifully to get around 1 defender. But Creepy Zeus and the rest of ProNoobs continue to put the pressure down. Finally, it is cleared thoroughly from the zone, but a good demo means that's going to be difficult for Yes Tokyo to follow up on this.
Yeah, the ball's in the corner for in Yes Tokyo's favor. HMD going up, gets a touch. Can he get another one? It doesn't need it. And he gets his team within 1.
No way. 30 seconds left. And HMD with just these aerial acrobatics to keep it above Creepy Zeus's car. Rotate so that the nose of HMD's car sticks straight up in the air and it keeps that ball just out of Creepy's touch.
30 seconds left on the clock. Can Yes Tokyo get it back? It's an opportunity. They will do it.
No way! 3 back-to-back goals here for Yes Tokyo, and they've tied us up with 25 seconds remaining in game 2.
Oh, the excitement that Yes Tokyo must be feeling right now. They were looking like they were going to be in an unfortunate position, perhaps being on match point next game, but they have brought it back tied, and we might even see overtime.
A demo on the bars, but Pepe keeps it in orange territory. It takes 2 defenders from ProNoobs to at least just get it into the corner, not even clear the orange zone. Ball right in front of the net, 3 seconds remaining. HMD goes for a shot, gets blocked. Creepy Zeus keeps their composure, stays in front of that ball, and will send us into overtime. Next goal wins here in game number 2.
Yeah, and we had mentioned before that ProNoobs' previous series did have 2 overtimes in it that they won, both of them. So they know how to play these overtimes. They've got the confidence coming in. Let's see if that translates or if Yes Tokyo is going to take them by surprise.
Creepy Zeus muscles past everybody, and indeed they are bolstered by that confidence. ProNoobs will win it 4-3. It was an incredible comeback from Yes Tokyo, but Creepy Zeus just takes matters into their own hands once we get into the OT and works their way down the pitch to score the game-winning goal here for ProNoobs. They are up 2-0 in the series.
Yep, Creepy Zeus just keeping that ball underneath the defender as they both collided at the same time. That's an exciting way to finish off the game, and that was on Tokyo or on Japanese servers. So ProNoobs winning in a situation where they would not be necessarily expected to, and they've got themselves on match point.
Oh, that was definitely the best game that we've had so far, though. What an exciting comeback from Yes Tokyo. I mean, they were looking down and out, Mike. It was looking really dire. And they came back and scored 3 back-to-back goals, 1 from each player. Everybody from Yes Tokyo getting in on the action and contributing to the team's near success there in game number 2.
Yeah, that was really exciting stuff. 1 player each from Yes Tokyo each player from Yes Tokyo scoring a goal there. Everyone putting in effort to try to bring that game back. Unfortunately for Yes Tokyo, however, Creepy Zeus was having none of it. And yeah, that will bring the game back into ProNoobs' favor.
And where does that leave us? That leaves us with ProNoobs up 2-0 and needing only 1 more game over the next 3 to punch their ticket into the grand finals to take on Los Betas tomorrow.
And we were talking about ping and internet connection earlier. Because of the distance between these teams, we have been changing around servers to make sure things are as even as possible. Speaking of which, we started on the US West server. We're now on Japanese servers for the previous game and this one. Looks like players were just discussing whether they wanted to continue on this specific server, and they have decided yes, and the game is underway.
And like you say, just trying to share the advantage. Whew, dangerous ball there from Yes Tokyo. HMD riding the line there on that one. Pepe with a nice move, gets past Red Plate, who gets turned around. Pepe looking for somebody in the middle. Bars is there. HMD gets the shot and the goal. Yes Tokyo taking the early lead.
Yes Tokyo trying to say that they are not out of this series yet. They are so far undefeated, just like the ProNoobs, and they wish to stay that way, but it would have to be a monumental reverse sweep if they want to bring back this series, but we have seen it happen before.
Oh. And we've also seen Creepy Zeus take matters into their own hands before. Look at this one, go into the sky. Ball never touches the ground, escorting that thing from end to end. Okay, it did drop right on the goal line. I stand corrected. Still an outstanding display coming from Creepy Zeus.
Oh, that air dribble was fantastic, and I'm sure you will see that in the company highlight reel at the end of this tournament. Creepy Zeus will have multiple entries to that list, I'm sure.
Ooh, that was a smart play. Creepy Zeus acted like they were going up the wall and then sent the ball shooting down parallel with the ground, right along ground level. And it allowed entry here from ProNoobs to get into the blue territory. Now they're fighting to keep it there. Pepe muscles it back through all the ProNoobs ranks. Ball's hit hard, and it's going to go to the other side of the pitch. Here comes the attack. HMD in there in a scrab with two other players. Manages, well, unfortunately loses control of that one. HMD with a good touch there. Wins that 50-50. Creepy Zeus still, though, keeping it out from in front of the orange net. Now going back to the sky, looking for goal number 2, and we'll find it.
Yep, once again, Creepy Zeus finding the gap, or more accurately, I would say creating the gap, and giving his team the lead here.
If Yes Tokyo are gonna win this game, they have to keep Creepy Zeus in check. Somebody needs to be on them just at all times and not allow Creepy Zeus any room to work, which is way harder than it sounds.
Yeah, that style of player is hard to shut down when he's flying through the air all the time. It's not only is it hard just from a mechanical standpoint to shut someone like that down, it's costly to try to stop him because he's up there in the air where you have to jump, spend your boost, put yourself out of position to try to make the save. And even if you stop him from getting a goal, sometimes he will pull you so far out of position that you can't stop the follow-up.
Not to mention you have to be able to anticipate the location through the air of where you've got to be. And you got to do that in advance. It's because of the way the trajectory works and the inertia works in this game. You don't have a whole lot of time to make those decisions. Ball rolling around in the corner of Yes Tokyo's territory. Nice little slick move from HMD. Sneaks around one. Looking to get above another. Uses the backboard as a pass to get it back into the middle. Both Pepe and player from ProNoobs missed that ball. Bars does get demoed, but HMD keeps it in the zone, and right in the middle of the net it goes. We are all tied up.
Oh man, Generation there was in position for the net, but he had faith in his team to clear it and started heading towards the corner to pick up a large boost pad, and that left things wide open when the ball rolled over to HMD's hood.
And that just goes back to the importance of positioning that we talked about at the top of our broadcast. And that decision-making, Generation, unfortunately, did not make the correct decision on that one, and it cost ProNoobs the lead. Only a minute 25 left to go in game number 3. And remember, ProNoobs there. Yeah.
Pardon, Creepy Zeus going for some very physical plays. Lightly put the ball towards the net and then rushed towards the defender afterwards when he had gone past the ball, looking to just clear out anyone stopping his shot. That is a very aggressive play option for the ProNoobs team there.
Pepe with a chance here. Slow ball off the post. Slow roll and still in a dangerous spot. Creepy Zeus got a touch on it. But it's back in Yes Tokyo's favor. Bouncing towards the net. All 3 players go for it. Nobody can touch it. Mike, what did I just see?
Oh, it was a beautifully painful display of what happens when there's a little bit of miscommunication from the players there. Everyone saw the chance to take the lead, and everyone jumped, and everyone missed.
An important save from HMD, not only to block the ball, but to not allow the rebound. ProNoobs trying to keep it in the zone right now. Generation will succeed in doing so. Nice stuff. Good play there at the midfield line. Less than 10 seconds remaining. Who's going to grab control in this important moment? Red plate can't get a hold of it, and Pepe walks away with it. Has a look at the goal. Overtime commences. No shot there. We head to overtime for our second game in a row.
Yep, and we saw what happened overtime last time. ProNoobs knows what they're doing. Creepy Zeus! Oh, nearly.
Creepy Zeus trying to get into those grand finals single-handedly here in overtime once again. Not this time, at least not yet. Creepy Zeus has control again, though. Another opportunity. He's going to sit back and wait for HMD to make a play. HMD comes off the wall with it, sneaking it away from all orange players over there. Gets around another. Creepy Zeus running out of speed. It's a 0 in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So here comes Pepe to try to help out. Generation coming out of goal, boots it all the way down the pitch and will score. The game-winning, the series-winning goal here for ProNoobs. The American squad will make it 3 in a row, and we will see them in the grand finals tomorrow, taking on Los Betas.
Oh, HMD did everything he could there, bringing the ball around the entire field, crossing it over to the ProNoobs corner, but Creepy Zeus having none of it, takes away the ball, and bounces out to Generation, who just punts it downfield into the empty net.
Oh, what a great game. And you can tell by the shots here that Yes Tokyo had a much better showing here in game number 3. That was their highest shot total on the day. They put 6 shots towards the goal in this third game, and it was the only game where they outshot their opponents in ProNoobs. Previously, ProNoobs had more shots on goal in games 1 and 2, not in game number 3. That one was way more hard fought, and Yes Tokyo really pushed them to the limit. They're towards the end of game number 2 when they were able to score 3 goals in a row and force that overtime. And then here again in game number 3, a very hard fought match. Much respect there for Yes Tokyo. Unfortunately, it was just fell short. I mean, ever so slightly there, Mike.
Oh, yeah, it was an excellent display of skill that we saw here, both in the technical aspect of getting those air dribbles and the fancy plays, that one flip reset that we saw, and also from the speed of the play. The ball was just all over the place constantly because there was always someone on the ball putting power on it and making sure the other team didn't have time to set up what they wanted to do.
Oh, that final attempt from HMD had worked so hard to create all that space and to get the ball all the way down the pitch. I thought they were sending us to that game 4. It looked so good. It was such a good setup. It looked so good, but Generation was the one to deny him on that one. Let's see where this leaves us. Let's take a look at our leaderboard and see where our standings lie. It is going to be Los Betas taking on ProNoobs in the grand finals tomorrow for that grand prize of 300 Rocket League dollars, I guess the equivalent of 300 USD in Rocket League currency. Second place will come away with 150 USD in Rocket League currency, and then down below we will have Yanmar Mixed Japan taking on Yes Tokyo. Your 2 Japanese squads will be fighting for third place and 75 USD in Rocket League currency.
Yep, we have seen all these teams play today, and we will see them all play tomorrow at the same time. That third place final will be the first one at 200 JST, and then the grand finals immediately afterwards at 21 JST. And those are both going to be very exciting matches to watch. And we hope that you'll join us for that, because it should be an exciting display of skill.
And we appreciate you hanging out with us today for our semifinals matches. Definitely looking forward to the 2 tomorrow. Both are going to be very exciting, and looking forward to covering those and keeping the action going here throughout this week in the Yanmar Summer Festival. Do want to give a big shout out to Rhino behind the scenes, person pushing all the buttons, keeping Mike and I, on track here throughout our games today. So they definitely deserve a nod. But definitely, most important, we appreciate you out there just enjoying some Rocket League. Perhaps you maybe not familiar with it before, learning something new, learning a cool way to connect with people worldwide.
Yeah, this is a fantastic tournament set up by the Yanmar company. It's really cool to see a company putting the effort into creating something like this for everyone in the company from across this massive international company to play together, come together under one united game, and have themselves a good time.
Well, I guess that's going to do it for us today on behalf of the Corporate Esports Association. Thank you once again, and we'll see you tomorrow.